The galaxy didn't hear the screams. Or maybe it did, and just decided screams were inconvenient. Entire worlds were burning, and the Forum of Civilized Species, 3,000 delegates strong, wearing robes woven from star silk and smelling faintly of smugness, did what they did best, issued condolences, then looked away. That should have been the end. An insignificant species, betrayed by their allies, devoured by raiders. A footnote in galactic records, maybe a somber plaque in the Hall of Memorials no one visited. But then, Earth leaned forward in its chair, smiled with irritating politeness, and said, "We'll fight beside you." The amphitheater went silent. Every alien present remembered, with a creeping unease, that humans had a way of saying nice things while their eyes promised something far less wholesome. The Polari delegate, a creature resembling 3 wet spiders in a trench coat, coughed nervously through its spiracles. "Humans, perhaps you misunderstood. The Tvorn Confederacy has been deemed unworthy of intervention. Their plight is regrettable, but strategically—" "Strategically," interrupted Captain Elias Ford, voice smooth as glass, "you mean their corpses make convenient fertilizer while you wait to see who profits." He said it with the exact same tone one might use to comment on the weather, which made several aliens squirm. Humans had a talent for weaponizing courtesy. The Tvorn, small reptilian folk with scales dulled by famine, sat hunched in silence. Their leader, Vakari, looked up at the human with eyes both hopeful and ashamed. "We do not wish to beg," he rasped. "Good," Ford replied with a grin sharp enough to cut titanium. "Because begging's tacky. We'll make this simple. You don't have to fight alone anymore." The words carried like an electric current. Around the chamber, whispers broke into shocked chatter. The humans were volunteering to stand against the Krag swarm, the same Krag that had devoured 12 civilizations, gutted fleets like fish, and made even the predator races soil their environmental suits. Polite suicide, the galaxy thought. Humanity smiled wider. The first Krag assault came faster than expected, as if the swarm had smelled weakness. Black ships like colossal insects descended on Tvornes green oceans, blotting out its suns. The locals braced for annihilation. Instead, they got humanity. The Krag ships fired down with surgical precision. Then, nothing. The shots fizzled against shimmering shields that weren't supposed to exist. Up in orbit, human vessels, patched together from half-finished carriers, civilian freighters, and what suspiciously looked like a refitted cruise liner, held formation. "Cruise liner Celestial Princess reporting for duty," crackled a voice. "Please enjoy the buffet while we vaporize your enemies." Lasers lanced out, carving through Krag hulls with unnerving accuracy. Where other species relied on brute fleets, humanity fought with improvisation, dirty tricks, and humor that shouldn't belong in war. On the surface, Tvorn civilians huddled in bunkers, listening to alien comms chatter. What the? Did that human ship just ram a Krag destroyer? Yes. While playing music. Something called, Highway to Hell. Are they laughing? They're definitely laughing. The Krag, accustomed to prey screaming, recoiled at prey that cracked jokes while carving them apart. By the end of the day, the swarm was in retreat. Humanity had turned certain genocide into absurd victory. The galaxy blinked, confused. Word spread. In bars on space stations, aliens muttered over drinks. "You hear? Humans fought the swarm. And won. They used cargo haulers as missile platforms. That's insane. That's humans." At the forum, panic rose. Humanity had made a dangerous statement. Not just defiance, but loyalty. They'd chosen sides. Worse, they'd done so publicly. Ambassador Tellerin of the Eleth Collective cornered Captain Ford in a marble corridor. "You can't possibly mean to commit your people to this madness. The Krag are unstoppable." Ford gave him a pleasant smile. "Unstoppable? My grandmother used to say that about a clogged toilet." Trust me, with the right tools, nothing's unstoppable. Telleran's feathers puffed in horror. You speak of toilets, while civilizations burn? Better than watching them burn while adjusting my robe, don't you think? The alien stormed off. The human whistled. The crag came back bigger, meaner, faster. Entire fleets darkened star systems. Humanity answered with more humanity. Engineers jury-rigged planetary defenses out of mining lasers. Students wrote code that hijacked crag targeting systems and redirected their own missiles. Farmers donated drones, strapping explosives onto crop haulers. Every human contribution was absurd, improvised, and somehow devastatingly effective. The Tvorn fought alongside them, astonished. Vakari watched as a human squad decorated their armored dropship with painted teeth, grinning like maniacs before takeoff. "You a smile before death?" he asked. "Nah," one soldier replied, slapping his shoulder. "We smile before their death." The crag learned this the hard way. For every human ship destroyed, 10 crag vessels went with it. Worse, humans didn't retreat when logic demanded. They advanced, grinning, as if war itself was just another game they refused to lose. The swarm faltered. For the first time in galactic history, predators looked over their mandibles and saw prey hunting them back. But it wasn't all jokes and ramming maneuvers. The war stretched on, and the galaxy watched uneasily. Humanity fought not just with weapons but with terrifying strategy. They leaked false intelligence, tricking crag fleets into ambushes. They spread rumors across galactic channels, sowing panic. They even engineered entire battles as theater, letting just enough survivors escape to carry home horror stories. Aliens whispered that humanity wasn't fighting the swarm. Humanity was teaching the galaxy something. Vakari asked Ford, during one late-night strategy council, "Why do you risk everything for us? We are no one to you." Ford swirled his drink, the faint smile never leaving his lips. "That's the trick, Vakari. You were no one. Now you're ours. And no one touches what's ours." The Tvorn leader felt both relief and a chill. The climax came at the Battle of Svar Prime. A crag superhive, larger than moons, emerged from subspace. It should have been the end. The Forum panicked. Species fled. Even allies of humanity pulled back. But humans and Tvorn stood their ground. Ford addressed his fleet with perfect calm. "Remember, ladies and gents, this isn't just about survival. This is about sending a message." And send a message they did. The human fleet didn't charge directly. Instead, they feigned retreat, classic prey behavior. The swarm surged after them, mandibles wide, only to find themselves funneled into a trap. Entire asteroid belts detonated around them. Mining rigs, retrofitted with fusion warheads, lit the void with apocalyptic fire. Crag vessels screeched, caught in the jaws of humanity's grin. "Ladies and gentlemen," Ford quipped over comms, "welcome to the buffet. Today's special, roasted swarm." The superhive collapsed, torn apart not by sheer power, but by strategy so ruthless even predator races flinched. Humanity hadn't just won, they'd orchestrated the battle like theater, every move rehearsed, every sacrifice placed with chilling precision. When the smoke cleared, silence ruled the galaxy. The swarm had fled. Humanity and Tvorn stood, bloodied but alive. The Forum reconvened weeks later. Alien leaders spoke in hushed voices. The humans had not only defeated the swarm, they'd changed the rules. Captain Ford entered, smiling politely. The Polari delegate stammered, "We underestimated you." Ford's smile widened. "Oh, don't be so hard on yourselves. Everyone does. And this war, you truly risked everything just to save them?" Ford's eyes glinted. "Save them? My dear friends, we weren't saving them. We were recruiting." The chamber froze. "You think we fight beside the Tvorn out of charity? No. We fight beside them because we've seen what happens when the galaxy leaves someone to die. And now, they're family. Which means if the galaxy ever turns its back again, his voice dropped to a silky whisper, it won't be the swarm you'll need to fear. The humans smiled. The galaxy shivered. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the Krag weren't the only ones planning their next move. Humanity was too. After all, the trap hadn't just been for the swarm. It had been for everyone watching. Because humanity wasn't just fighting to save the Tvorn. They were proving a point. And the point was simple. If you abandon the weak, humans will make them strong. Stronger than you. Strong enough to change everything. The galaxy had turned its back. Humanity had turned the board. Game on.